I apologize for being late. I need an actual intro, but I'm not very talented at them. I don't like a long intro. I don't want a long intro, but just something that I can throw on really quick if I'm not quite ready, which I make the time, so I should be ready, right? 30 months tattoos. Keep doing you and blazing trails. Thank you so much. Kelly with the 33 months coming in solid. Good morning, my friends. Thank you so much. So listen, I woke up to what I think is a great email. I'm actually very excited about it, albeit I'm putting absolute faith that this is that is going to be presented in a good light. But a news organization reached out to me to use my footage, to use my videos, and I am beyond thrilled at the idea of it. So let's just hope they present me in a decent light, right? And if not, that's okay. That's okay. Publicity is publicity. So, yeah, I was pretty excited about that. I wish I would have seen it a little bit sooner, but I don't think it mattered much. Um, I did respond, so that's a good thing. And hopefully, I also keep getting, um, uh, uh, I keep getting, I keep getting sponsorship offers, but you know what? I don't like sponsorships very much because if I don't actually trust the product, if I don't believe in the product, then I don't want to push the product. I'm not going to sell out to advertise an item that I don't truly believe in, right? So you can sue for RICO if they flip the script. Yeah, we'll just get them. No. How's everybody doing today? Stipulate that you can see what they are using before broadcast. I just simply wrote back that they said all credit would be due to me. They'll add any hyperlinks that I'd like. Apparently, it was featured, which is pretty cool. It didn't tell me what they were looking to use. It just sent it back to my profile, which I have to fix up. Listen, we've grown past the whole idea of grannies watching, right? We've grown past the woman peeking out of the blinders. I need to do something different now, and that's what we're going to look at doing. Thank you. Isn't that so cool? I know. Listen, would you believe my son said to me last night he wants a pair of Crocs? And I was like, yeah, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, that's a good idea, Pointer Lover. So there's been some rather interesting updates going on in this case. And I'm curious of all your thoughts. I'm very curious what everybody thinks. We are now entering what, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 13 days. News people usually don't do it the way you would have, right? Thank you, Ms. Liverbird, for posting this. So I haven't really pushed my own fundraiser because I feel icky about all of it. I did see that there were donations yesterday, and I thank you all sincerely. Unfortunately, because they are continuing, the legal expenses are continuing, and if anybody is able to donate, please do. If you're not, I completely understand. This is you've all helped tremendously as is. So believe me, I get it. I get it. We're all in a place, right? The world is changing, my friends. The world is changing. Tariffs are crazy, and we're going to be pretty hurt. I don't know about that, Stassi, but I appreciate it. Been 30 years today since I lost my dad, Jess. I'm so sorry, Beth. For 30 years. Wow. I'm so sorry. Salem, Massachusetts is my favorite place ever. Yeah, people, I think some people are going to be mad. Like I said, let's just hope that they present it in a nice light, okay? I don't think we've done anything bad. I don't, I pretty much I haven't heavily laid in on the parents because I don't think it's right to do. We've listened to the locals respectfully and we respect what they have to say. This is their area. They know it better than us. I think we've been pretty respectful in covering Lily and Jack's story. So maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe there's something I don't know, but we'll find out. You heard I got a tattoo. What'd you get? I got it too big is what I did, but it's a cute little skunk guy. It's very cute. They've done this. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I'm still open all options. Now, as things are going down, I don't know, JR. I didn't ask all that. All I wrote back was, you're welcome to use the footage. Um, I didn't ask very much more. I may have responded too late, to be honest. I don't know. If we have permission, you can find our terms and conditions here. Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. Akira with the 5 gifted. Thank you so much. Lost the money to make it. Oh, yeah, that sounds lovely, doesn't it? Ask my lawyer. Yeah. Listen, publicity's publicity, right? So I'll take either which way. We will take the hit on the chin if we have to. But as the days go by with Lilly and Jack, I personally am becoming more and more concerned. And it seems like so are the locals as well as the RCMP. So let me go ahead and pull this up for all of you. It's really devastating. As you can see by my thumbnail, they have interviewed a lot of people. They've received 180 tips. Hey, Mike. Apple bottom jeans. Thank you so much, my friend, for the 5 gifted. Thank you, Gigi. I hope to be, but you never know. Yeah, no, it's not about the litigation, Katie. That's a lot of tips. I agree. That's a lot of tips. Now, listen, I thought it was a lot of people to question because if you remember, they said that we're going to have to get an idea of how many people live in that particular area. Now, I know they can go to surrounding areas as well, but if you recall, the children go to school with 86 other kids, and that's from every which neighborhood. So there's not many people. Petty, thank you so much. There's not many people. Now I'm reading over here. The Mountie said 35 people have been identified for formal interviews as part of the investigation, including community members and those closest to the children. 35 people. Another article reported it was 36, but 35, 36, that's a lot of people to question. Hey, Wa, and the fact that they are beginning to question people in that format, as we know, they've scaled back the search and they're now focused more on the criminal aspect of things, tells me that they believe that something nefarious may have happened. And I don't think it's a far-fetched thought. It's a remote area. They traveled through the woods. They had so many searchers. They had drones. They had dogs, boats, you name it. And they haven't found one singular piece of, I don't want to say evidence, but it would be evidence to show that the children were in the woods that day. I mean, the stepfather, mom's boyfriend, brought up that there wasn't, the pull up. You would find that apparently 100 people live in. Wow. So 35 out of 100 people. They did have a party. Has that been confirmed, Kels? Good morning, T. Adams. I saw my lady Juan here. Well, and that's the problem, Kathy. We've heard from locals. Kathy says, I hope not SA offenders. We have heard from locals that there are an unfortunate large amount of offenders nearby. That there's apparently a large homeless camp. There's a jail that when they let the people out of jail, they just let them loose in the community. There's no follow-up. And that's how it is here, right? When you get out of jail, they give you back whatever you went in with, and they normally give you a bus ticket, and then you're on your own. So that's not far from how we do it as well. But apparently the neighbors aren't too happy about this. I do as well, unfortunately, Mick. And I'm sure if that's the case, they'll find out. The other thing is we know that Canada is very tight-lipped on things. So I don't know if we'll get many updates with as far as what they're thinking and where the investigation is headed. Now, because it's been national news, I'm sure if there's an arrest made, we'll get that. Do the homeless camps? I was thinking of yesterday, you don't know who was out there. That's what the lovely locals who have joined us have told us. excuse me, that the homeless camps are kind of nearby. Do you really? Hennessy 59 said, I think we were going to find out that they will say mother and postpartum. Really? Do you really? Akira with the 20 gifted memberships? Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Wow. That's so amazing of you. Akira gave 25 gifted memberships this morning. Apple Bottoms hit us with the 5 memberships. You guys are amazing. Thank you. That is so cool. K&S following up with 10 more. Everybody who just received a membership, welcome. Welcome. I hope you take full advantage of it. I don't know how you could. You just get member-only posts, but it's a wonderful time. You are more than welcome to join us. Make sure you wipe your feet before you come in the house, though. We don't like crumbs. Thank you, ladies, so much. Right, Kels? I was going to say it. I said, oh, somebody will say I'm stealing their saying that goes back to strip clubs from the 90s. Imaginary friend, good morning. 48,000 children go missing in Canada every year. And I get that, right? Matter of fact, there's another little girl missing. Let me throw her up on the screen. This is a sad one as well. And there's missing children all over, let's be honest. But give me just a second to pull this girl up. Be nice, try it. Came in with the gifted membership as well. Thank you so much. It's like a membership train. I know you guys don't like when I type without muting, but sorry. Hopefully I can type quicker than your ears can complain. Oh, okay. So this never mind. So I was going to report on a missing 12-year-old girl, but she has been found. So that's fantastic news. Now, what I will say, I found a little insane when I was reading about this missing young girl, she's 12 years old, is that she has a tattoo. And I don't know about any of you, but I couldn't fathom my 12-year-old having a tattoo. But she was found. That's a huge relief. I'm sure her family's very relieved by that, and the community as well. I'm still very curious about a tattoo on a 12-year-old. So apparently her tattoo reads 2007 was what the tattoo. I mean, listen, my son will be 13 on the 1st. And it's like, what do you want for your 13th birthday? A tattoo? That's wild to me. She got her birth year tattooed on her. I'm curious, did she do like I don't know, like an in-house tattoo on herself or something? You know, I know when I was a teenager, I pierced my own nose. I pierced my friends' noses. We were all types of trouble. But Kentucky, she's from Kentucky. That's the year she was born. Yes, 2007 would be the year she was born. Into our somebody's house, and my son was getting a tattoo at 13. Oh my goodness. I would have been kicking butts. But I'm very glad she was found. 57, good morning. Midwest. You got one of the memberships? That's so exciting. That's right, that Brett. Well, this is a good thing. So she was found. If she's 12, she would have been born in. No. Wait a minute. Oh, you guys are so right, Doug, because my daughter, who's a teenager, was 2006. I just mixed up their years in my head. I do that all the time. That's why I got their birthdays tattooed on me, so I can just look and remind myself. I'm just kidding. But you're right. No, she would have been, you're right. And she would have been 2012 or 2011 if she was, you're right. Okay. So I wonder why she got 2007. I wonder if she lost a loved one, maybe a parent. I don't know. But bless her heart to be that young and have a tattoo. That's so right, Sloobs. What am I thinking? Look, yeah, that's the year she would have been born. No, that's actually the year I would have graduated, 2007. Agent 99, good morning. Too early for math. That's it. Take it off the screen. We're done with that. But seriously, so I'm reading all these different things pertaining to Lilly and Jack, and you know, we can do a little lightheartedness, but the fact of the matter is there's 2 babies out there. And I get some people are getting hung up on the word baby, right? They're not babies. No, but they are. They're 6 and 4. Mother reports that they're autistic. You know, they're babies. When you think of them out in the woods, they're babies. They're tiny, they're petite, they're babies. And they're supposedly somewhere. We don't know where. Nobody knows where. I love that, Scooter. And it breaks my heart to even think about it. So there's been new articles written up. Like I said, the RCMP has stated that they continue the investigation, although they have pulled back on the physical search efforts. They are now focused more on, interviews and going that route. Now, this really did break my heart to see, and I'm sure many of you will feel the same way. But over here, the staff surgeon says if we thought they were alive right now, we'd still be out there. Man, that just breaks my heart. But it's the truth. And listen, it's an ugly truth, but I'm glad that they live in the reality of it. So many times these people will come out here and they'll do these press conferences and they try to put on this, faithful, hopeful type of speech. And I'm pretty, it's reality, right? It's the reality of it. So for me here today, it is so rainy. It's so rainy today and it's so windy and it's a little chilly and the weather's been in the 80s and then this weather comes along and I just kept thinking to myself, what if what if it was me out in the woods? We know that they didn't have jackets, they didn't have sweatshirts. You can keep wondering all you want, Z up or whatever your name is. You can keep wondering. Where would you like it to go? Matter of fact, you tell me what news organization does. Earth Angel with the 395, thank you. Who was at the party? Has it even been confirmed there was a party? I don't know. But this is the sad reality that they have to, especially the investigators, they have to acknowledge. So in a news release, they said they are following up on more than 180 tips from members of the public and exploring all avenues in a missing person investigation. Now, that's understandable that they're going to have a lot of, tips and all of that. The unfortunate part is the speculation on YouTube adds to the tips that these people have to go through. It adds entirely to it. So when you look at it from that aspect, it's like, yeah, they're going to get a lot of tips, but I'm also seeing people with confidence say, the police found wrist ties. The police found, zip ties. They found that there's a rumor that there was, gosh forbid, but bloody underwear. Oh, they found a sock, and the sock's like, a size 12. Well, that's not that little boy's sock. Use your logic. But they don't want to use logic because logic doesn't sell, okay? Logic doesn't give these people what they want. Listen, if you're unhappy, then you can go ahead and get out of my chat. Goodbye. Find somewhere else to be. So they're putting up these catchy headlines and they're making it as dramatic as it can be. And they're saying without a doubt that, the mother had this buried in the backyard. I mean, you wouldn't believe what I'm seeing out here. It's really insane. And I'm sure that's adding to these extra tips that are coming in, especially when so very little has been given. We have the suspicious behavior of the mother. Yeah. Yes, very suspicious that mom would leave the very next day, leave the property. She goes on social media to change it to that she's now single and then delete social media. We have the way the mother speaks, right? The way she was sitting there speaking was very suspicious. It was almost like she was just parroting what she was told. Could that be because she's, so upset she was sedated? Could it be that she just disconnected herself? I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I'm not a behavioral analyst, right? What I do know is it's okay to say that there are some things that just don't seem right. What's not okay is to say, without a doubt that these things happened. And that's where I see social media mess up a lot. Just like these people that are claiming they found zip ties and wrist ties and all these things. I don't believe it. We would hear about it from proper authority if it were true, I'm sure. But they can't even source where they heard it. And that's the problem I have with it. This case makes me feel sick. Yeah, I feel something nefarious happened. I'm not gonna lie. That's exactly how I feel. The children missed school. There's a lot of, they were reported missing 2 hours later. It wasn't 20 minutes, it was 2 hours. That's a huge problem for me. Half soured to 3 months. For some reason, social media confuses tips with theories. Yeah, theories should not be called in ever. Is it true the 18-month-old has been taken off the mom? I have not heard that. I know that the mom's with the 18-month-old and the father's not allowed to see the baby. Kraken. Poof. Be gone. The way that Lilly screams is like, how could no one hear her getting kidnapped? It's weird. Well, you got to remember this, Tuesday. The stepfather stated, and the mother, they both stated they're very friendly children. They'll talk to anybody. The stepfather said that they would go in a stranger's car if they were offered something. So would they know they were being kidnapped? You have to think of that. Mr. Blue, thank you so much. I just got out of the hospital after having my second heart attack. Oh my goodness. As I was in there, I thought, if I'm not still around and see Granny's lawsuit get finished, I'm going to be so mad. Oh, keep fighting, girl. Let's see this to the end. You got this. Mr. Blue, I'm so sorry. It's so scary. I hope that you're feeling a lot better and continue to thrive. Whew. Good morning, Moto Mom. Definitely not a kidnapping. I don't think it's a kidnapping either. I mean, you got the fact, we said it the other day. If you have one child sick, you keep both children home. It's just something doesn't vibe right. Something doesn't vibe right. The last known sighting of children was the school bus driver dropping them home on Tuesday. That's all we really know, right? Other than that, there's nothing. The grandmother that lives on the property, I know she's not the biological grandmother. I know she's not related to them. It's just easier to say. The uncle, everything's just a little, uncertain right now. And a lot of people are really saying they're suspicious of the quote unquote stepfather's brother, right? But that's what happens. And listen, here's the other thing. Well, I know that speculation can be harmful. And I know without a doubt there's ways to do things, there's ways not. I have a banner myself that says don't report any of this to TBI LE on what you hear today. Everything is speculation. And if it's not, it's been turned into proper authorities. Don't take it upon yourself. Don't tie up these tip lines off of things you hear from social media. Unless you have definite proof and you full-heartedly believe what you were seeing, you shouldn't tie up the tip lines. But here's the other thing. Throughout history, people have enjoyed feeling like they are part of solving something. We have shows like Murder, She Wrote. We have shows like Columbo. We have board games like Clue. And nowadays they have these games where you're literally solving a murder. Who killed so-and-so under the boardwalk? And you play it as if you're the perspective of law enforcement. Because people enjoy that. Okay? Because people enjoy feeling like they're involved in something. People enjoy having somewhere to sit and give their opinion. Now, before, you used to do that with, your close family, your friends, whatever. You sit with your girlfriend, have coffee, and you talk about the latest gossip. Okay? Now, social media has made it easier for people to do it via the internet. And while it can be dangerous and while it can be harmful, it's also human nature, if you will. There was a lot of speculation. I'll never forget Athena, little Athena. Everybody thought without a doubt it must have been the stepmother. She was arguing with her that day. She sent her to the trailer that's detached from the residence. It had to be her. And it turns out it was the UPS guy? He accidentally hit her with the truck? And he was too scared to admit that, so then he took her life? CrimeCon has a lot of interactive stuff with cases too. Yeah. A lot of people, we're not going to, you just got to be careful in how you do it. That's all. Like I said, I see people out here saying, without a doubt, they discovered all these items. No, nowhere to see that. FedEx, that's right, Sharon. Thank you. You can't confirm that, right? So, but I did see this interesting article, and I will read it with you all, because it seems like they're not too happy with social media. And I understand it. I get it. Canada's not like the US. They are very tight-lipped on a lot of things. There you go, Kaylee. If you really want to be one, I go through the proper avenues to become one. So this is the article that was written, and says the business model of lies, gossip, and misinformation about Jack and Lilly Sullivan on social media. Well, let's start with the fact that Lily's name's spelled with 2 L's. How long it took everybody to figure that one out. Hey, McRappin. Social media in Canada is different. I'm sure it is. And I'm sure this is, a big reality shock for them. So it goes on to say, TikTokers declaring Jack and Lilly Sullivan have been found. True crime YouTubers harvesting local news footage, overdubbing it with commentary, and declaring the discovery of huge and disturbing clues. They sure have. An AI-generated account of the children's murder told in story form was being shared on Facebook as the most plausible scenario. Now, that's horrific. That's horrific. That's as bad as these, spirit boxes and... Our shared horror at the disappearance of 2 children from Lansdowne Station is being turned into something ugly on social media, profit, and obsession. The way monetization works is it doesn't matter if the content is accurate, it just matters that it's popular. The director of Law and Technology Institute. So every time somebody views that content, if it's attached to a monetized account, it increases the ability of the user or company bringing monetization dollars through advertising. This monetization of obsession for information about what happened to Jack and Lilly fills the vacuum of truth that's hard to accept. We may have to wait weeks or years with no guarantee answers will come at all. After 5 days of scouring the woods by hundreds of search and rescue volunteers, K9 teams, helicopters, and drones, the children weren't found. A police investigation involving Northeast Nova major crime has been working on the case since the day after children went missing, which is also the day the mother disappeared. She didn't disappear, but she left. We're exploring all avenues in this missing persons investigation, says the sergeant. We have officers from multiple disciplines dedicated to finding Lilly and Jack, including highly trained RCMP major crime and forensic investigators. McKinnon said they are following up on 180 tips from the public and have identified 35 people for formal interviews, including community members and those closest to the children. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't doubt the ability, Sailor. I really don't. A day 2 operation by the RCMP's underwater recovery team did not find the children in lakes or ponds around Lansdowne Station. We continue to work day and night on this file. Like all Nova Scotians, we want answers and we want to know what happened to these children. The wait is made harder by social media algorithms that learn our interests and feed us more content that keeps us staring at our screens. And there's little to no accountability for whether that content is either true or contributing to the public good. Yeah, that's unfortunately it's the way it is. Hey, London girl. There's actually an economic incentive, warns Skolnick School of Law professor Michael Carniculus, for content creators to fill the lack of information with misinformation and for the platforms to let it happen. A business model that has benefited from artificial intelligence. Now, this part blew my mind Because, of course, I didn't see this AI video with the most plausible. That's what I'm saying. It's disgusting. I see these people doing stuff like that all the time. I see it all the time. Just like I said the other day, somebody's title was that they found zip ties and wrist ties. Where? Or the other big grabber I saw that was, bloody underwear and children's socks found. It wasn't a child's sock. It was huge. AI can churn out large volumes of content in relatively fluid English with minimum oversight. That would be like that channel. The heck's his name? Evil. They do that all the time. Hey, Gertie. If it costs a few pennies to make and it makes a few pennies more in advertising revenue, that's a viable business model. Whether it's true or not, and whether it's made by actual people or not, when we click on links or follow social media commentary, we're seeing advertisements, spending more time on social media platforms, and feeding the machine. And it's damaging to our mental health. I tell you all the time. Log off for a bit, listen to music, because they're right. It does damage. That's what I'm saying, right? They saw the zip ties near a tree house. That didn't even look like a tree house. I'm with you. It's unbelievable. You have now sophisticated algorithms monetizing your attention. Some of the smartest people in the world are targeting your attention by making you feel anxious or outraged. Well, that's what the news has always been. You guys remember when the news used to say things like, it's 5 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? I used to love that, to be honest. But it was sad that they had to say, it's 5 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? And then it'd be the 10 o'clock segment, 10 p.m. But I mean, that is kind of whatever. So we see people with excessive involvement with screens, especially social media, and a host of negative consequences. Those consequences include increased anxiety, inattention, and depression that can filter into other facets of our lives. But we're not passive victims in this, cautions Sherry. By engaging in obsessive social media discussions, we can become content creators who don't profit financially and suffer or harm ourselves while harming others. I doubt the grieving is facilitated by learning every microscopic detail of this tragedy. Instead, we see online as people more or less leering at human misery. Yeah, this photo breaks my heart. I mean, I never got a vibe from this guy. It's just the truth. I never felt. I couldn't even fathom. This is in no way unique to 2025. Whether poetry, novels, or other forms, for a very long time we have gawked at the dark side of humanity. I think this is the most recent manifestation of it. I don't know if I agree with that. However, the disappearance of Jack and Lilly Sullivan is or isn't resolved. It won't be the last case of social media's unhealthy relationship to tragedy. It's getting worse, not better. The people who run these social media companies are among the wealthiest in the world. We should want social media companies to invest in content moderation to make sure their products add to the social good, not just add to social harm. They're not incentivized to moderate this type of content, so without regulation, that would get financial penalties. Why would they bother? Well, YouTube has updated terms of service, haven't they? That you're not allowed to use AI when it comes to true crime cases, especially active cases. So I think they're trying. Do I think it's good enough? No. Social media companies have moved away from moderating their content for what's true and what's harmful in the years following the COVID-19 pandemic. During a 2020 interview with Fox News, Meta chief executive Mark Zuckerberg said, I just believe strongly that Facebook shouldn't be the arbiter of truth of everything that people say online. I think in general, private companies probably shouldn't be, especially these platform companies, shouldn't be in a position of doing that. Are social media companies the postman or the publisher? The postman isn't responsible for what's written on the letters they deliver. The publisher of, say, a newspaper can be sued for publishing defamatory and harmful information. What do you think of that? Do you think they have a point? They should, Butter. They're supposed to. I know, he is a bug, sucker bug. Mr. Blue, I mean, here's the thing, right? Anything that is misinformation can be flagged as such. But yes, I assume that's what they meant by that. Can a family member of Jack and Lilly Sullivan find and sue content creators who often exist half a world away for defamation? Sure, why not? Holding the platforms liable for the content posted on them by individuals could also have negative consequences for public discourse. Right, because then freedom of speech comes into play. The first thing we see is a flood of lawsuits. Pick your hostile billionaire who doesn't like criticism, and they will start suing the platforms, and platforms will take down rather than fight the lawsuits. You can talk about Meta and X as bad actors, but make them liable for posts will make it functionally impossible for competitors like Mastodon and Blue Sky to rise up and compete, and will entrench the dominant position of platforms by making it much more expensive to run a platform. Cautioning that regulation of social media companies demanding content moderation is a slippery slope capable of being abused by governments. But if well drafted, it has the potential to help. In the meantime, Jack and Lilly are still missing. The torment over their loss isn't going away, and neither is social media. That was pretty well written. I don't disagree. But like I said, you have to keep in mind this has gone on for fair. People love to be part of things. They love to speculate. They love to theorize. They love to give their opinions. Is there a certain way to do it? Yes. Do people do that? No. Let's face it, it's a competing world, especially on social media. If I put in my thumbnail right now, horrific evidence found, the views will skyrocket. But so will the misinformation. So where do you go with that? I don't know. It's a very difficult, long conversation. I think there's many avenues that it can go down. Right, and a lot of people are straight up lying, Pesty Patty. A lot of people, I saw people with confidence state something that's factual that was not. Sure, if they didn't manipulate the algorithms to push more and more inflated content, they need to go back to independent searches if people really want to find more stories. Yeah, but why do you think we give permission to use the cookies on websites? I don't like any AI songs, if I'm being honest. The whole world of AI music is so overdone. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. All right, so let's get back into this. So Jack and Lilly are still missing. As we know, they did update that Lily's name is spelled with 2 L's. Which, again, I'm shocked it took that long for them to realize it. But it's what happened. Did somebody in the chat say the population's 100? Let me look that up. Lansdowne Station is small, but it's difficult to find specific population data for the exact location. So they don't even know the exact population. Well, this one says, all right, Well, there isn't specific population data for Lansdowne Station. It had a population of 43. Somebody said 100. This one's saying 43,000. Lansdowne Station had a population of 20,000. And there's subdivisions of A, B, and C. That sounds more likely. Is in the news article you read that you paid for? Because I read the same thing. They said it's about 100 people. The one you have to pay $1 for them. Yeah, there's 86 in the school. Anyway, 35 people of interest or 35 people to sit down and speak with. That's a large number for a small community, right? Not only the clicks and views thing, but people who don't even know the children or families get way too emotionally invested. Right. They become the, oh, I love little Jack and Lily. I love Sebastian, auntie, uncle. Which article allegedly? It's saying the population is 100 people. I don't know. Yeah, I just read it's about 20,000, but that's 3, subdivisions, A, B, C, whatever. Okay, let's pull this up. I would love to know if there's been any further comments from the father, or mom's boyfriend. He's not the father. My biggest fear is, and I'm sure many feel the same way as I, that my biggest fear is that this will end up being another Summer Wells, another Sebastian Rogers, another very popular unsolved case. And I pray that's not the answer. I pray that I have faith that they're on to something. They're going to be tight-lipped. They're not going to tell everything. Yes, I do remember that. How many live in the woods unaccounted for? Well, right. Does that account for the homeless encampment? Are they going around? They're not filling out, I'm sure they're not filling out census when it comes. So I don't know. Stepdad has been silent for like 3 days now. Maybe he's finally been told to just shut it. Right. That's what the mother came out and said. Law enforcement said not to speak to anybody. So I'm not. And I don't blame them, because it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what they say and what they don't say. I mean, let's face it, we'll tear it apart. Even them speaking in past tense, people are like, got him. He said liked. You don't know his base tone. Unfortunately, I don't. Unless they were kidnapped, I don't. My heart doesn't feel that way, and that's so sad. But that's why I respect and appreciate that the RCMP said the same thing. We don't feel that they're, alive, especially if they're in the woods. Tutti frutti. Thank you, my friend. So I'm looking over here, right? And I got to stop saying right. Did y'all see about the little baby that was found? That gave me hope. But granted, this baby was found safe, and he wasn't. Give me a second to pull it up. He he was found pretty far away. It's like 18 hours, I believe, in the woods. Yeah, here we go. So it reads, how fast can a 2-year-old travel in the wilderness after dark? This 2-year-old in Alberta traveled a kilometer in 8 hours. So it'd be about 0.6 miles. 2 years old. In 8 hours in the darkness before being found the wee hours of today. Many were saying that there is no way Jack and Lilly could have went far. Alberta, missing 2-year-old found safe after intensive search, aircraft, and police dog services. No, you don't. Jackie Blue, thank you so much. We love having you a part of us. Thank you. So, all right. So the police responded to a missing persons report on May 11th at 10:24 p.m. of a 2-year-old who had wandered from their royal residence in Clear Hills County. They searched all through the night until Grand Prairie's search and rescue helicopter spotted the child. They had wandered 1 kilometer away from home and were found in good health. You got to admit, that's wild. 2 years old. Hey, Mama, so good to see you. Thank you. Now, I know they're using this to say, like, well, listen, if a 2-year-old could do this, why couldn't, a 6 and 4-year-old? Well, the difference is the 2-year-old was found. That's the difference. If Jack and Lilly were out there, you would think at least one of the babies would have been found. But it does make you wonder if this little toddler, if a 2-year-old was able to travel this far, why do they do a certain radius and not extend past that? And I know they do it based off of all these, you have the studies of all the cases prior and the distance and the time and terrain all comes into play, but something about it's like why stop at that point? I guess they have to. They have to at some point. Hey, Justin. Britt B, welcome to the MFers. What do you guys think of that? Little girl named Lilly found in Chilliwack, also Canada, last week. The video's out there when they found her. Super sweet. Aw. I love a happy ending. No cadaver dogs there yet? Are you kidding? Do you have a minute to join? Justin, you're welcome to if you do. If not, I understand. Cupcake with the $4.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. They don't have cadaver dogs out there yet? I thought that's one of the first things they were going to do. Pull back the search, bring in cadaver dogs, and start investigating from a more, wow, that's unfortunate. Music City Mom, that is a very difficult balance to have. And I think because we are following this type of stuff, and I think because we're so involved in these discussions, that is the negative side of it, because then it does make you a little more worried. Does anyone know if they search across the road? Yeah, I'm rather certain they did. I mean, they know more than they are letting us all know. That's how I feel. I feel like they're being tight-lipped, but I do think that they know something. Sad because the more days go by, the less likely a good result. My daughter is an adult. It still terrifies me. Yes, across the road searched. Have you heard anything if it was true that, so Justin is very local. Have you heard anything about it being a party there on Wednesday? Well, another child was missing in this Chilliwack. Am I pronounced that correct? It was a 7-year-old girl, and she was 12. 12 kilometers away. So that's why I think the police don't believe that that Lilly and Jack are in the woods. Many, many cars. Mm, We heard about the party that's come out the last few days. Yeah. Cadaver dogs were used with Jack and Lilly, Tebow? Yeah, that's 7.5 miles for a 7-year-old. And similar dense woods. Hey, toe beans. And there's also conflicting information if there was a scent trail. Some are saying there was a scent trail that led to the driveway, the end of the driveway for Jack and Lilly. Others are saying there was no scent trail at all. I don't know how there couldn't be a scent trail given it was their home. Yeah, no cadaver dogs yet. Thank you, Lavender. Does anyone else wonder if they had been missing longer than has been said? Yeah, I think a lot of people theorize that. We did read the name the other day, Vicky. I forget the name of it, but there was 86 students, and it was a 20-minute bus drive, Saw Springs Elementary, and the bus driver stated it was rather interesting. The bus driver stated that they still have the seats marked off for Lilly and Jack. Of course, they would. That every day when he drives by, the children ask, have they been found? And it such a small town. Of course, these children hear this. He said that his children are friends with Lilly and Jack. And he said that Lilly was a screecher and that Jack loved to talk. And he would say, bus driver. And if bus driver didn't respond to him, he would fling a boot at him. So he would take his boot off and throw it at the bus driver. I'm a 20-minute drive from Chilliwack. Didn't hear about the little girl. No? Here, let's Chilliwack's a very interesting name. A video about it, Rose.
With breaking news and the incredible story of a 7-year-old girl who survived a night in the dense woods of Chilliwack. Taya Fast joins us now with the latest. And Taya, we're so happy to hear that Lilly Corsol has just been reunited with her family.
Yes, Chris, it really is the best outcome and one we were all hoping for today. And yes, as you mentioned, Lilly was just reunited with her family only moments ago.
Oh, it's going to make me cry. Oh, my gosh. I'll never forget when my daughter hid inside the clothes rack at Kmart. And I was so panicked. I can't even fathom what that relief would feel like. What are you guys talking about? Why the 25th?
Right here. Did you hear Nanny? I love you.
Oh.
Hi, Mommy. I went to the toilet to be bad. My sister got off.
It's okay.
Oh.
Nanny, we can put off again.
Oh, get that fixed for you, Lily. We'll need to get some new shoes.
Yeah, Nanny, I'm okay, Nan.
Are you?
Yeah, because Nan, I went to the children rescue people.
My God, get these cameras out this baby's face. Oh,
You know,
Because I was waiting into my footsteps. Because I went with the Southern Rescue people.
look who else is
And
here.
guess what?
something's so uncomfortable about this. Who's she looking up? Where's mom? Who's she looking up talking to?
Because I went with the Southern Rescue people.
Look who else
I
is
went with I went with the rescue people. Bless her heart.
And guess what?
What?
I was on an airplane.
Oh,
Guess what? I was on the outside.
I know we saw you. I knew you'd love it. Look who else is here. You're Auntie Tara. I love you.
She's gonna need counseling and oh my goodness. Oh, how did she get so far? Hey, crime junkie. Was Lily being a screecher? Maybe they could have taught her to scream if someone tried to take her. No, because the mom said opposite. The mom said she'd talk your ear off. She'll talk to anybody. They said she'd go in any vehicle. There wasn't a stranger she didn't know. Yeah, I know. She's so happy for the rescue people. I don't. It seemed like there's grandma. This lady's like pushing her. What are you doing? She's pushing her here and then she's pulling her down over here. What is she doing? Did anybody else see that? I didn't want to be petty and point it out, but let me be a little petty. Why the hell is the woman in brown pushing her around? It's just a little odd. Like, there's cameras here. Amp it up. Bend down and hug her. What are you doing? We'll see that again. All right, hold on.
Nanny's right here. Did you hear Nanny?
And she looks over like, you guys see me? I pushed her.
Only moments ago.
Nanny's right here. Did you hear Nanny? I love you.
Oh, she got out and said, she got out and say, Lily. The mom made a weird statement about dogs coming about and telling them the girl was gone. How this girl not been found, they would have been all over that mom. Sure. You're right. It's the way it goes.
I went to the Southern Rescue people and my sister fell off.
She's all excited talking and she's my shoes are falling off. Bless their hearts though. I'm happy this was a happy ending. Bless this officer's heart. He seems like a great guy the way he fixes the little girl's show.
Nanny, we can put off again.
Oh, we'll get that fixed for you, Lily. We'll need to get some new shoes.
Yeah, Nanny,
Oh, see?
I'm okay, Nan.
Are you?
Yeah, because Nan, I went for the Southern Rescue people.
I know.
Because I was waiting into my footsteps.
Now right here, watch when this lady pulls the grandmom down.
Because I went with the Southern Rescue people.
Look who else is
And
here.
guess what?
What?
Isn't that weird? Like, I don't know. All right, whatever. Bless the heart that this Lily was found. Apparently, the area she was lost in is very similar. And she's the one that was able to go, what do we say, 7 miles? 7 miles? That's a really long distance. So I don't know why if they're giving up on aerial search for Jack and Lily, it has to be that RCMP suspects something. And given that they are not like us, they don't overshare everything. I'm sure they're just being tight-lipped on it. I'm sure they have an idea what's going on. If you all recall, we had a local come up that told us that they're very pushy. They're very when they interrogate, they do it differently. That American, we have you got to handle with kid gloves. They don't do that there. There was our different, okay, less hurricane fell trees. Well, I'm reading that it's still very dense wooded area. There's definitely something about the whole situation isn't right. Yeah, I'm just reading an article right now. So the 2-year-old was found, a 7-year-old was found, and unfortunately, Jack and Lily have not been found. What's most concerning is when you add in the fact that they weren't seen for 2 days. I mean, how can people not speculate? No, apparently the mom is not on an Indian reservation. That was misinformation. The father, her father, lives on one, but the mother doesn't. There's been a few times in the past years the bus didn't stop and drop my boys off. That happened once, my son's first bus drive. And dense but larger trees, so here more trees, smaller and thicker. It's heartbreaking. That little girl is a warrior. She is out there by herself. Thankfully, she was found to tell her experience. Did the mom not change Jack's pull-up? No, of course not. Mom never even saw them that morning, which again is a whole different story. It's just, it doesn't make sense. You got the mom's boyfriend saying, you know, we were in the room with the baby. We told them to be quiet so the baby could sleep. Lilly was popping her head in and out. Jack was heard in the kitchen playing. Now, who the hell allows a 4-year-old to play in a kitchen unsupervised? Then you have the you know, the question being the question that's being had now is, were they missing at 9:45 and they called police 20 minutes later, or were they missing at 8 a.m.? Interrogating Russell Williams for teaching purposes. Where can I find that, Delaney? You don't say. Indians are of Indian descent. Thank you for sharing that with us. 70s or 80s, living room and kitchen are probably connected, nothing separating them. Yeah, but still, I don't care if it was connected or not connected. Who's allowing a 4-year-old to play in a kitchen, connected or not? They're still missing, Danny. Yes. What I get from these combined stories is the children just keep walking. They keep going. So hopefully this story that can be learned from. That happens with adults too when they get lost out in, you know, in the woods and everything. They actually say to stop moving. Don't keep walking, because you loop yourself and you get lost. You're so right, Delaney. Why wouldn't I think of that? So this is in Canada, and this is to demonstrate how to interrogate. Rumor was that when she went home to the reservation, she went to stay with someone. Mother suggested that she was there for a bit and then kicked out, then went somewhere else. Of course, it's rumor. Thank you. Look how many people are missing our national forests. Yeah, you stay put. They wouldn't even know if the kitchen noise was a child or an adult, I guess. Well, they were the only two adults there, so, and they knew it wasn't Lilly because she was in the room, in and out the room. They say the higher percent of kids are found is just a waiting game. Hug a tree. What the hell is going on today? Hug a tree. Indians are from Indian descent. They say the higher percent of kids are found, so it's just a waiting game. You guys all right in the chat? What's happening? Hey, Chobi, why are we hugging trees? That's correct, Marshall. With the Marshall, where's Marshall? What they say? You guys are confusing me now. That's what I'm saying. It's early to stop, right? But I guess it's their weather. I don't live there. I don't know. Has the weather been that bad that they don't believe that Lilly and Jack would be able to survive? I don't know. Oh, to be found in the woods. Hug a tree. Stay in place. Okay. Sorry, Miss Jess. I apologize. I'm like, why are you telling us to hug trees? I get it now. That makes sense. It was that bad. Okay, so that makes sense. Bad weather. That's like I said, today's crappy, rainy. I couldn't imagine being in the woods. They have something. I believe they have something too. It's cold as soon as the sun goes down. Right. The weather is cold there. And again, at first, Jack wasn't even reported in clothing. He was just in a pull-up. Right. The calculations. I thought that the brother and Daniel's brother was there too, and their trailer, not the main house, right? Did they see the kids that morning? They have not spoke out yet that I've seen. I keep looking. I haven't seen them speak out. A lot of people are waiting to hear what they have to say. Now, this is where I'm a little confused, because it was stated by, the quote unquote stepfather that the dogs have searched the property twice. So I'd be shocked that they haven't brought the cadavers in yet. But I know you're saying, Justin, you're hearing they haven't. Prints, evidence, and other stuff would be washed away. Right, but scent would be picked up. What, did it rain on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday? I still find it odd, okay? I still find it odd that Malaya, that she left during the briefing. And I also find it odd that Daniel's not allowed to see their shared baby. That tells me that they're suspecting something. They're not just going to willy-nilly keep the one baby that they have in common away from him if they don't suspect something. Now, granted, that doesn't have to do with the disappearance. They could suspect abuse. I don't know, but why would they keep him away from the baby if he's not suspected of something? Right, the large-scale search is over. I know one of the day is one of the officers had heat exhaustion. Wow. Well, they always, in every case, they always say, a step-parent is the first suspect, and I don't feel like, to me, he didn't seem like he was a suspect. Then again, like I said, go back to Chris Watts, classic case of speaking out. Thank you so much, Sasha. I did find it. I don't know if that's something you guys would be interested in watching. So apparently there's this video on YouTube about Russell Williams, and I guess Canadian police use that to teach others how to interrogate. Is that something you guys are interested in watching, or? Put a 1 in the chat if you'd like to see it. Put a 2 if you're like, yeah, nah, we don't need it. I think they did that in Quentin's case with Daniel. I could be wrong. I think you're right, actually. They think he did it, and police advised her. Where'd that go? Keep eyes on her, separate potential suspects, and protect the baby. I think if they truly believe that, though, they would protect the baby. Wow, you guys are interested. Okay. Yeah, here the weather is very quick, Justin says. So on one particular day, it rains like torrents for 3 to 4 hours. Then it switched up to 60, 70 for a few hours before cooling off at night. Oh, gosh, that breaks my heart. Maybe they crawled into a little natural hole to try to stay warm. I don't know. I heard she had to leave because stepdad's mom ordered her off the property. If she didn't leave, she would be arrested for trespassing. You'd have to, I'd like to say you'd have to arrest me, but truth be told, I don't know, right? I don't know how'd I feel.
You just have seen girls. The guy I was speaking with whatever night that was Russ as well.
Well, what's the backstory to this? It's supposed to be brilliant police interrogation and confession. All right, so I don't know the backstory. A senior detective would purposely refrain from addressing a highly respected military commander by his formal title. He is an English-born Canadian who was well decorated. All right, hold on, let's see. Oh. He was charged by Ontario Province Police with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of forcible confinement, 2 counts of breaking and entering, sexual assault, and another 82 charges relating to breaking and entering were later added. Now, he's a real creep. For not getting out the kids and could be blaming him. He could feel the same way. If mom and stepdad had gotten into a physical altercation, then visits will be set up at least for a while. Also, due to the mom being indigenous, the baby is likely to be with her people. She's no longer with her family either. Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, she could have stayed in her van outside the property or something. Oh, Psyop says he's the military guy that dressed in lingerie and took the photos in shitty makeup. The kids should have been crying wherever they were. I agree with that. I mean, backstory is wild. That's why I don't think it necessarily applies here. They already had evidence of Williams' crimes at the time of this interview with him. I think the point of it is that this is how they interrogate. So, just speaking for a moment about folks on medication. Let's say the mother was heavily medicated. She is overly medicated. Would she appear the way she did on the interview? Well, I spoke about that, Justin, right? So I took that perspective. Let's say mom was sedated because of what she's going through. So, of course, her speech is slowed down and she comes off as not caring, right? She came off like she was parroting whatever she was told. That's how she really appeared. The problem with that for me is that I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Do you think that would justify the way she spoke? Oh, look at that. I come up on Google search. That's like the second down. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that is enough to like it's less than 12 hours. Is she going to be that heavily sedated? Or what are they gonna dose her up with a ton of Xanax the first 24 hours that the child's missing? I don't know. I don't know if I can believe that. Thank you, Divine, for hitting the thumbs up. It's like knocking at the door. Yeah, no, I get it. It's a good question, right? But would they really sedate her that early on? Would she have taken that medication on her own? Would they have given it to her? I don't know. I doubt it. The statement to me is very odd as well. It was. I mean, there's no other way to say it other than her statement was odd. It was very nonchalant. It was very, it rained today, but I hope that the sun comes up and they get some warmth. It just didn't seem. How do you disable ad blocker? What if I don't want to disable it? I just can't read any of these articles. And the fact that the mom and even the boyfriend, Daniel, were both pleading. They were pleading for a Amber Alert. I don't know. Like, it was almost like they're saying, look over there, look over there. I haven't drank anything yet, but I have. Maybe you're behind. Girl, it's thirsty when you talk a lot. I'm a talker. I want to know. All right, here we go. Come up here. You get up here, lady. How do I make this bigger? Here we go. All right. So let's hear it again. I believe it's this one. I don't know why it gets
The search for 2 missing children in Nova Scotia is expected to continue today.
Last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't have them in their beds. And I don't want to go through that another night without them.
6-year-old Lilly Sullivan and her 4-year-old brother Jack are believed to have wandered away from their home in rural Nova Scotia Friday morning. The Mounties say a multi-agency search has been going on since then. A helicopter from the Provincial Department of Natural Resources also helping out.
Don't want to exclude anything, so obviously anything that comes to our attention, we are going to continue to follow that. I have no information currently on any particular leads. Obviously, it's a huge wooded area with lots of potential. So we're just keeping all avenues open and ensuring we're covering off the entire area.
The RCMP says there's no evidence the children were abducted.
Was that the mother's hand on the refrigerator? Is this the refrigerator? I guess. I don't know. Hold on. I'm still baffled at the size of their classrooms. I'm not going to lie. It blows my mind. They are tiny classrooms. But is this the mom's refrigerator?
So we're just keeping all avenues open and ensuring we're covering off the entire area.
The
Yeah, it has to be, right? I'm nosy. I want to see her tattoos. She likes finger tattoos, doesn't she? Picture being worse, but then again, Canada's privacy laws likely protected all of us from witnessing more of William's photos and bad drag. Oh, you guys are still on Russell. Laughing Heart says, Justin, okay, I will trust you. What are your thoughts on what happens? I know, there's 86 kids in the entire school. That blew my mind. And then that's cool that they give this out, but I want to see more. Look how beautiful he is.
The RCMP says there's no evidence the children were abducted. Lilly Sullivan has.
Merry Christmas. We got, wow, 2 teachers for that little students. School photos. I mean, they're hung up on the fridge. Are they tribal tattoos? That's a good question. It looks like an anchor and just kind of miscellaneous things to me. Gel water probably sucks. The children are not tribal. Oh, the tattoos are not tribal. Okay, let's see what else. I mean, it's an interesting look at the refrigerator. They have all the photos. Why do cats sit in your face? What are you doing? If I was sitting anywhere else, you would not be bothering me.
Shoulder length, light brown hair with bangs.
Oh, look at that picture. Wait a minute. Was that him? That was so cute. Go back. Go back. Oh my gosh, look at that photo. Stop it. Is that little baby Jack? Oh my goodness, I love that. Oh, these poor babies. Where are they? No, and I get that, Miss Norris. I mean, listen, I go down Jersey a lot. It's rural. I've had my fair share of wandering the woods. Yeah, it's precious. it breaks your heart. I mean, they're little babies. They need to be found.
Brown hair with bangs. She might be wearing a pink sweater, pink pants, and pink boots.
Okay, so pink sweater, pink pants, pink boots. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds a little fabricated, right? Like, oh yeah, Lily was wearing all pink, and Jack was wearing blue dinosaur boots, and oh, now he's wearing all brown too. And I'm very curious, like, what were they really wearing? All brown, all pink.
Jack Sullivan has short blonde hair and is wearing blue dinosaur boots.
Right, so at that point, they only report on wearing the blue dinosaur boots. Later on, they come out and say, oh no, he's probably wearing all brown. Like, yeah, sure, okay. I don't like the way it. All right, let's listen to the mother again. A lot of people have a lot to say about this.
Staying as hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home. What happened was we woke up. I'm just staying as hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home. What happened was we woke up. I heard them playing in the next room beside us. And I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them. And they happened to just get out that sliding door.
That's the part that was confusing. Like, we never tell them to not play outside. Yeah, I don't know. Seems like a guess, though, Chloe. It does.
And we can't hear it when it opens.
Can't hear it when it opens.
They were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. And
this doesn't seem sedated to me, anyhow. It doesn't seem sedated. What I will say is, to me, it seems very rehearsed. They happened to get outside. They closed the door, but we didn't hear it because you can't hear the door. She's already setting up excuses for herself, and I don't like that. It doesn't seem genuine. It seems rehearsed. There's no other way to say it, right, Disco? It seems not sedated, rehearsed. She's excusing herself.
Beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there.
They're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. So, they're not outside playing on their own. We didn't let them do that.
With them, watching them. And they happen to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew, it was quiet, and
it's a rehearsed step by step. I appreciate that, Justin. I did write down your email, but I didn't want to invade you with an email. But if you don't mind one, I'll definitely shoot you one. Yeah, she seems to be speaking slowly, methodically, very careful what she says. You can't hear it? You guys had no sound? And it seems like she's just very much, she's giving reasons. She's giving excuses. Perfect, Justin. I will. Thank you. I think she thought they'd be found and was trying to sound as non-neglectful as possible. Really? It gives flat effect or mood, not sedated to me. She uses language if emotion, but expressions of emotion is lacking, not in a typical manner. Right. First, the kids were playing in a room next to them. Then all of a sudden they were outside. Make that make sense. Right. And they just so happen, and we can't hear the door. Just happen to go out sliding door, yet they're perfectly capable of opening it on their own anytime. That part bothers me. Absolutely, sleuths. Let's do it.
On their own, we always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them. And they happen to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens.
Oh, Lippy.
And they were outside playing.
Right, like, why would you add that in? Why would you even add that part in? We can't hear it when it opens. You would say, listen, we were in the room. I mean, I would imagine, listen, again, I'm not in the situation, so I can't say how I would really say it because I don't know. But I would imagine I'd be more like, we were in the room with the baby and I could hear them playing. And the next thing you know, I didn't hear them anymore. And I turned and looked at Daniel and I said, Daniel, do you hear the kids? And he said, no, I don't. And we got out of bed and we started looking. They had to be outside. They had to go out that sliding door. There's no other way in or out. She's very much she's protecting herself, it feels like. Callie, great point. Never once says their names, asks people to help find them, talks about herself and Ethel's story leading up to them missing. It's something weird. Over-explaining how confident she is about how they got out. Oh, yeah, sure, here.
Beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep, and they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them, and they happen to just get out that sliding door and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but
and then it's just I don't know. It doesn't flow. It sounds rehearsed. Again, I could be wrong. This is what I'm picking up. I'm not saying it is rehearsed. I'm not saying she's done something. I'm just saying it doesn't seem very urgent. It doesn't seem genuine. It just doesn't. I'm sorry, it doesn't. And then good morning, Mia. Justice for Lilly and Jack. Those are Johnny Depp's children's names. I just realized this. Oh, wow. There's another creator on here. Both her children are named the same as my children, and they're the same age. Hey, Sophia. Good morning. Those kids definitely played outside by themselves. I believe that. You would think that would have been mentioned, but instead was mentioned by Daniel, which ironically people seem that they feel like he's suspicious. It was Daniel who mentioned that the kids never closed the door behind them. And he found it odd because he always had to remind them to close the door. What do you mean, PsyOps? Not after a full 24 hours with your 6 and 4-year-old going missing with RCMP in the woods. What do you mean by that? Purple Dragon Show, thank you so much. Drop by, say good morning. And kids close in age, especially twins, are incredibly smart and get out easily. Me and my twin brother did it at 5 years old through window bars, sick with 105. I get it. Listen, I get it. I'm not saying kids aren't slick. I mean, absolutely. My son used to be a little magician at getting out. I even put high locks up. I did everything I could. I'm not dismissing the fact that children do get out. When you add in the fact that they haven't been found, they haven't been seen, you add in the fact that they hadn't been in school, there's just you add in, most importantly, how different their stories are. They're so different. Absolutely, Delaney. They just did that to me in WKRN. They don't put in what they're asking you. See, you sound like you're just coming out of left field with something. I agree that they're cut out. Absolutely. It's the eye contact. It's the whole demeanor to me.
We weren't aware of it at the time.
Again, I'm not saying she's guilty of anything. I just find her behavior suspicious.
We weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew, it was quiet. And we get up and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call.
We get up instantly. We're instantly looking. We're instantly calling. Instant. And then Daniel over there saying he went through the water, all the culverts, all the dirt roads within 20 minutes. Okay.
Yelling for them, and I instantly just call 911.
Instantly.
We are kids, and he says no. And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call.
I don't know. I don't know. Doesn't feel like mom talking to me. Again, maybe she's nervous. Maybe there's a lot of possibilities. They're claiming 10 minutes. Some people are saying that by the audio dispatch, it seems more like they were gone for 2 hours. Mom's saying she never saw the kids. Daniel's saying that Lilly was in and out of the room. I don't know. Jeremiah, that's what I'm saying. Could they have crawled into a little tiny area to stay out of the water, stay out of the rain? How does she know anything, Amir? Right? She was sleeping, in and out of sleep, 10 a.m. Also, she called him her partner on Saturday, left him, plus changed her status on Facebook Saturday. Makes you wonder what she heard at the meeting that bothered her so much. Oh, that's a fair point. During the briefing? Maybe she heard something, that's why she left early, the briefing, and then broke up with him? Touche, Kim. I guess she has to be using, what do you call that? Like, it would be obvious. If you don't hear them in the house any longer, they have to be outside. I don't know. 1 kid not found could happen, but 2 with 0 evidence they were even in the woods is bizarre. That's what I'm saying. Even Daniel, the stepfather, said, like, I'm shocked they didn't find anything. Hold on. This is bizarre. So the Daily Mail did write an article about about the RICO. I didn't even see that, but they emailed me about something different. So it's a little odd that they wrote it about that. They wrote to me about this case. Toxic war breaks out between parents of missing autistic teen and internet sleuths hunting to find him. But they basically just took WKRN's whole news. I don't know. This is odd. They're not even reporting it correctly. I don't trust these media people. This is why we shouldn't even judge so hard off these these parents, honestly, because the media leaves so much out. It really does. It really does. You can't trust too much. It's weird. They should watch their kids. I mean, Richard, you're not so wrong, right? Because I think at minimum they can get these parents for some sort of neglect. For sure. All right, back to this. I apologize. I was distracted by that.
Really go-lucky children. They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off.
They'll talk your ear off.
They will speak to anyone in a store. Everyone. They're just extremely sweet kids. I appreciate the huge surf.
See, isn't that in itself weird? No, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. Listen, we don't know what questions they were being asked, right? So I can't really say it's weird. I can't say it's not. I don't know. Something doesn't rub right here, and that's all there is to it. We can speculate all through, the early morning hours. Something doesn't feel right.
Search effort going on right now. But we've been pushing for an Amber Alert, which hasn't been issued, not just that they could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility that they could have been, but just an alert to let everyone know that they are missing. We had people text me saying that they weren't aware someone else.
Yeah. No, absolutely we have. But I mean, I'll also be honest at the same time. If as parents, we get tired, right? Silas, we get tired, but we don't fall asleep in a bedroom with the door closed and not see our kids all morning. Usually you kind of fall asleep sitting up on the couch. You hear the kids are right there. You're not really sleeping. You're half asleep, but you're awake. It's more of that type of situation for me anyhow. In this case, you have two adults in the trailer. You have two adults on the property. And yet somehow a 4 and 6-year-old are manage to not be seen all morning and then get out the door and vanish. They hadn't been to school in 2 days, 3 days, because Wednesday was an off day. I'm sorry, it's just suspicious. It really is. Saying people text her, but the dispatch audio says the parents say they have no service to give them pictures. Good point. And who cares what people are texting you? I've had people text me that, they didn't know. Okay, then why didn't you use your social media to alert people? Instead, you want to make people aware that you broke up with him? Why didn't you use social media to say, hey, my kids are missing? And then people wouldn't have to text you. They would see it. Does she have some responsibility to get the word out there? Sure.
For an Amber Alert, which hasn't been issued, not just that they could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility that they could have been, but just an alert to...
I want you all right now, as parents, put a 1 in the chat if you are a mother or a father, if you are a parent, if you are the legal guardian of a minor. Put a 1 in the chat. I imagine there will be a lot of 1s popping up. Oh, 0. Okay, how about even if you're a pet mom? If you get your doggy blueberry facials. If you're one of those, right? Because pet moms matter too. And I see some of y'all take better care of your pets than you do some little humans. None left in your home, but you've had some in your home at some point. Rather they're grown up now, rather they're still littles. Just, Right, sleuths. And pet moms matter too. And it's, I was wondering that, Kent. I'm not going to lie. It crossed my mind. Okay. Now I want you, as a mother of once were toddlers or, 4, 6-year-old, whatever it may be, if you have your grandchildren and whatever. Oh, that's exciting. Gosh, they grow up so quick. Even if it was your cat or your dog. Listen, my cat went out overnight. I couldn't eat, sleep. I'm walking around the neighborhood, shaking little cat food treats. I look like a maniac. I'm like walking around with her litter box. It was crazy. Now, I want you all to imagine you had to think of this as a possibility.
Which it is a possibility that they could have issued, not just that they could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility that they could have been, but just...
I want you to think of the possibility. You don't know where your child is right now. Your child, your pet, they're gone. They're gone. You haven't seen them. Okay? And you know there's a possibility that they've been abducted. You know there's a possibility that they're laying hurt somewhere. Are you going to nonchalantly say, well, it's a possibility they've been abducted, but I mean, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. I mean, when my cat was missing, it was a possibility that she was beat up by another animal, laying somewhere wounded. It was a possibility she was ran over by a car. I was on all the Facebook group sites. I was up there ready to print out the photos to put her around town. I was a wreck over my cat. The way she says this is so nonchalant. It's so, there's a possibility they were abducted. There's a possibility my son won't eat the school lunch today because it's nasty. That's the comparison. And even with that, I'm a little more worried. I'm a little more worried that my son's going to sit at school hungry all day. There's no urgency to this lady. It's just so blah. Is that her overtone all the time? I would love it if we had a footage of her speaking before. I want to know, is she always this matter of fact and monotoned? Is this her baseline? I need to know.
They could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility that they could have been. But just an alert to let everyone know that they are missing. We had people text me saying that they weren't aware. Someone else let them know that they were.
I don't give a fuck how they found out. The fact that she's even saying this, people texted me, they weren't aware. Somebody else told them. So, the police have to do better. Like, what? Who cares how they found out?
We're missing, and it would just be nice if everyone could be alerted. We thought maybe that we found traps.
But yeah, she's not alerting anybody. She's not making Facebook posts and TikToks or anything. No, she's updating that she's single. Her voice did change a little bit. It did. I'm so sorry for your loss, gamers. I'm truly sorry for your loss. And I get what you're saying there. But that would be this would have to be that she knows that they're no longer with us. It is. It's a lot of fill-ins, right? But the door's quiet. But we immediately. It's a lot of fill-in words. I don't know.
Cracks, but it's still uncertain. It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet. But with the sun today, I'm hopeful that they are feeling warm.
See, I don't believe that's a mother's thought. I do not believe that came from a genuine mother's thought. It's been raining, so they're probably soaking wet, but the sun's out, so I hope they get a little warmth. Hell, it sounds like I'm ordering a pizza, right? Yeah, give me a large pizza. I like mine to have green peppers on it. Give me half green pepper. It's so not. I get more excited. Listen, again, though, I'm animated. Maybe she's not. Maybe this is her base tone. I don't get it. I have a lot of feelings about the Facebook status change. That was the most important thing to her. I'm with you. It's weird, right? I don't care if you think we're together or not. I mean, am I lying, no sleuths? I think I get more excited ordering my favorite pizza than she does talking about the idea of her children missing. School lunches are horrific, aren't they? Oh my God, they're such crap. I know Michelle Obama changed the whole school lunch thing. And it's supposed to be healthier. Ugh. Give me a break. It looks like dog food. Now I want a pizza with green pepper. But seriously, though, for about 20 minutes, I was already on the phone with 911 freaking out. Yeah. I'll never forget my daughter hiding in the clothes rack at Kmart. And when she came out, I wanted to yell at her, but I was crying and I hugged her and I was so angry. But I was so relieved. I like pineapple on my pizza. I do too, honestly. Pineapple and ham. Who wants a wheat donut? Ugh. My son's first ride on the school bus, kindergarten. He didn't get off on his stop and they didn't get him off. And I had no idea where he was. And I'm calling the school bus. They're calling dispatch. I'm calling the cops. Ended up not being able to get my son until 5:30 after all the kids were dropped off. I was angry. I was a mess. She's just very matter of fact. Pineapple and pepperoni, pineapple and bacon. I hate bacon. Green pepper and pepperoni, please. That sounds good. And olives. Oh, I never tried that. Our jails and schools get the exact same bid from the commodity industry, meaning they get the same quality of food. Yeah. And it's only going to get worse. Sauerkraut. Now that's weird. You ever try ranch or mustard or ketchup on pizza? That's pretty good. I hate mushrooms. Pineapple and jalapeno. You guys are a little odd. Jalapeno and garlic. Oh my gosh. Your stomach will burn. I'm with you, Holly. I'm with you. Now, I will say, doing interviews is intimidating. Okay? Being on camera is intimidating, especially if she's not, I got to remind myself that people aren't always, they're not as talkative. They're not public speakers. They don't like being on camera. A lot of things come into play as to why she sounds or seems so, I want to be that way. But then again, I'm a completely different person. So is that fair to say? I don't know.
We're all filled with pain and sorrow because we just want them found. We want them home.
You're lying, JK.
Everyone loves them. They are definitely.
We just want them found. We want them home. Everyone loves them. Again, it doesn't seem genuine.
Everyone loves
Gosh,
them.
I hate this.
They are definitely verbal because we just want them found. We want them home. Everyone loves them.
Look at the eye contact and everything. Listen, I'm being too cruel. Maybe I should just turn this off because I'm adding to what I myself don't like to add to. But it's the eye contact. It's we just want them home. We love them. Everybody loves them. Right. The pizza speaks for itself. Am I right?
We want them found. We want them. I am hopeful that they are feeling warm. We're all filled with pain and sorrow because we just want them found. We want them home. Everyone loves them. They are definitely verbal and
yeah, no. Yeah, I agree, but even doing that doesn't work, right? All right, everybody close your eyes. Close your eyes. I know it's weird. Close your eyes. We're all going to listen really quick. We're not going to look at any audio, visual, none of that. Or audio, visual. What the hell did I just say? We're not going to look at the visuals. All right? We're just going to close our eyes. Close our eyes, everybody. Your eyes closed? Put a 1 in the chat if your eyes are closed. 1 in the chat. 1 in the chat if your eyes are closed. So I know who the liars are, because you shouldn't be able to see the keyboard if your eyes are closed. You fibbers. I don't think it's supposed to be that funny. Busted. Gotta keep them closed for a minute. Oh. All right, listen, we had to lighten it up a little bit, right? They're like, I opened my eyes to type, damn it. I'm not lying. All right. All right. Now, seriously, though, we're going to close our eyes and just listen. It's going to feel weird. It's going to feel weird. I know. I was always that person when they say, now close your eyes. I'd peep and see everybody's eyes closed. So I get it. I get it. Okay. But just close them. Just close them for a minute. And we're going to hear it. Just hear it. Don't look at it.
I'm just staying as hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home. What happened was we woke up. I heard them playing in the next room beside us. And I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them. And they happen to just get out that sliding door and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew, it was quiet. And we get up and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call. They're both really go-lucky children. They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off. They will speak to anyone in a store. Everyone. They're just extremely sweet kids. I appreciate the huge search effort going on right now. But we've been pushing for an Amber Alert, which hasn't been issued. Not just that they could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility that they could have been, but just an alert to let everyone know that they are missing. We had people text me saying that they weren't aware, someone else let them know that they were missing, and it would just be nice if everyone could be alerted. We thought maybe that we found tracks, but it's still uncertain. It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet, but with the sun today, I'm hopeful that they are feeling warm. We're all filled with pain and sorrow because we just want them found. We want them home. Everyone loves them. They are definitely verbal, and they do have possible autism, but it's not extreme autism. It's just they have issues with school.
All right. Now open your eyes. I was going to put a funny photo on the screen when I told you to open your eyes, but it's a serious situation, so I won't. But instead, I would tell you on the count of 3, when you open your eyes, you will think Granny is the best person ever. 1, 2. No, but seriously, did that change anything for you? Honestly, did not seeing the mother speak, did just listening to the mother speak, did that change anything for you? Did you hear anything differently? She is also correct in rumors about them being nonverbal. Bomb says no, nothing changed. Uninvited? No. Okay. Slim says no as well. Not really, still sounds off to me. My braille isn't working on my phone keyboard. Open your eyes now, Regina. We're safe now. Her nervousness. I hear emotion. No, I hear no emotional cry. Does she sound like anybody else to you? It sounds spliced. Well, it is spliced. Because in between her speaking, they're asking questions. And they don't add that to it. They did that with me with the news article. They put me on the Daily Mail. And they didn't put what they were asking me. You write about social media. Let me see if I still have it. One second. I sure hope I responded in time to the Daily Mail. There you go. There's always that one, Matthias, right? You can hear slight cracks in her voice. I see you, Kat. Sorry, I wasn't looking. You guys are saying, all right. All right.
And they don't catch up with the other kids. I just want to remain hopeful. But there's always, in a mother's mind, you're always thinking the worst.
No, you're not. No, you're not. A mother doesn't say, I just want to remain hopeful. But in a mother's mind, you're always thinking, a mother doesn't say that. And I'm sorry, they don't. A mother's the last one that wants to think the worst. A mother's the one that's going to hold on to the most hope. And some of you may get mad at this, but yeah, she does sound a little bit like Katie Proudfoot, doesn't she? Very, monotoned. But we could see with Katie, you could see there was times there were tears. As long as it's been, I see why she would say that. It hasn't been long. It hasn't even been 24 hours. It hadn't even been 24 hours. This was the very next day. They went missing Friday morning. This is Saturday. Saturday during the day. So I get what you're saying, but no. This is the very next day and it's sunny. This is like morning time. Yeah, no, I know. I get it. I'm just passionate, crime traveler. I'm passionate. Believe me, when I yell, it's a lot different. It's passionate. Because I'm shocked. I'm shocked that you would think so much time has passed, right? Because what she said is something you say when so much time has passed. Like, I don't know. They were no longer on this earth on Wednesday. So come Saturday, you're like, yeah, well, I grieved it all. It went through it all. I know they're no longer with us. This is Saturday. This is less than 24 hours. But I get what you're saying. Because the way she said it, you would think it's been a long time, which is why I think it's been a long time. Remember Chloe from Australia? Everyone suspected the stepfather. She was taken from a campsite from complete stranger and found safe. Yeah, of course there's all those. There's many of situations we can compare it to. Absolutely. And again, we don't know her baseline. I got to even remind myself of that. We don't know the baseline. Is this how she always speaks? Is this how she always responds to things? Yeah, sure. Okay. She sounds like someone in shock. You hear self-preservation. I do too. All right. So who else hears shock? Anybody else hear shock? Yeah, but are they going to give you psychiatric meds less than 12 hours later? Sammy, thank you again, my friend. I don't think so. Could be shock, like it hasn't set in yet. But she just said, we want to give up hope. Daughter passed charges. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Carrie. Let's hear it again.
Issues with school, and they don't catch up with the other kids. I just want to remain hopeful. But there's always, in a mother's mind, you're always thinking the worst.
No, you're not. Oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe you are. I don't know. Who am I to say you're not? Who am I to say you're not? But this is less than 24 hours. Less than 24 hours. And she's already, you want to remain hopeful. But in mother's mind, you're always thinking the worst. What's the worst that could have happened? I thought they went outside playing and they got into the woods. What's the worst for you? I wish the reporter would have asked that. Well, what is the worst for you? They did that with Chris Wass. They pushed him a little bit. What's the worst for you? Whole lives ahead of them, Richard. It's been 4 years since my Cassie. Oh, gosh, Cassie's memorial. I'm so sorry. And I'll cry or wake feeling like someone punched me in the chest. She sounds lost to me, but if I'm overly critical, she sounds guilty of something, but it's doing the kids no favors judging on one interview. Yeah, it's not just this one interview for me, to be honest. For me, it's the inconsistencies between her and Daniel. For me, it's the fact that this very day after this interview, she takes the baby and leaves and hasn't been back. It's the fact that she gets on Facebook, social media, where she just said she had people texting her unaware that they were even missing. And instead of posting that her children are missing, she updates her relationship status and then deactivates. It's not just the interview, right? It's a lot of things together. And again, it doesn't all equate to guilt. Maybe priorities are a little screwed. Maybe she does believe I didn't think she was dead, Oz. I didn't think she was dead. Wasn't rumored that CPS made her leave? Yeah, and then it came out that it was Daniel's mom that made her leave. Not CPS. The rumor was that CPS found a bunch of contraband drug paraphernalia inside the home and said that if she remains, she'll lose the baby, which makes no sense. Because if they found a bunch of contraband paraphernalia, they would have taken the baby. I would assume, especially with other children missing, but so then it came out, oh no, Daniel's mother made her leave because they were all fighting, because she's blaming him. He's likely blaming her. I can see why they would be fighting. They don't even seem like they're on drugs to me. I would listen, all throughout my addiction, people would say, but you don't look like a drug addict. You don't look like a drug addict. Even at my court hearing, the judge said to me, you don't look like a drug addict. Not everybody actually looks like a drug addict. I've sat in NA meetings with people you would never suspect of having an addiction. There's not always a look. That's like a stereotype of a look of what drug addicts look like. What? Marijuana? Weed? Daniel's mother made her leave because her family's pointing fingers at them, and they're the ones out there searching while she sat on her butt, allegedly. Oh, okay, you're referring to weed, but somebody else said they don't look like druggies. And, to be honest, what does a druggie look like, right? There's different drugs that people can be addicted to, and there's different looks to it. If you suspect this one of hurting your kids, would you leave in a relationship on any social media? I wouldn't, but I also don't know that I'd be worried about that if that was happening. Listen, if my kids have just disappeared and I truly believe my partner did it, I'm not thinking of fucking Facebook. Let's be honest. I'm not thinking of Facebook. Oh, I can imagine that's frustrating, Eric. Butter, I was a function addict for 3 years, held my job, paid all my bills, no one knew until everything inevitably fell apart. Yeah. I get it. More stoic, perhaps. There's 100 reasons of what it could be that doesn't equate to guilt. But that's what they say about Seth and Katie. One's searching and one isn't, but we know it's the opposite. Sebastian's case twisted everything, Well, I'll be completely honest, Petty. I think we think that they're both or one or the other searching, and I don't think either were actually searching when we all thought they were. What happened there was people chose sides based off of who they liked and disliked. Right? Betty started teaming with Seth because JLR started thinking Seth was guilty. Brittany was against Seth until she heard me going at Seth, and then she became defensive of Seth. They people did that based off of their own personal vendettas against other creators, not what their heart was really telling them. You might be thinking of Facebook if LE advised you to shut down your social media. So let me change my relationship first? I don't know. I don't know about that. I get what you're saying, but I don't know. I mean, how many of you are thinking of your relationship? Thank you, Pointer Lover. Thank you so much for this super sticker. Their story does not add up. I'm with you. I think Sebastian ran away with someone he met online. Yeah. I can't believe Daily Mail reached out to use my footage on this case, but didn't reach out to use my likeliness on Sebastian's case. Did you guys see Daily Mail's copy and paste WKRN? At least they used a good photo, I suppose. It looks huge. I don't know. Oh, you didn't see it? I don't know why he's all bloated like this. Let me see if I can find it this way. Maybe it's the way it was sent to me. It was the way it was sent to me. So they, oh my gosh, allow ads. I don't even understand this. Don't run on pages on this site. All right, hold on. Let me try it. Uh, I don't know how you turn ads off just for one site. Oh, here we go. All right. Toxic war breaks out between parents of missing autistic teen and internet sleuths hunting to find him. And they basically just took WKRNs. A toxic legal war is breaking out between the parents of missing autistic teen Sebastian Rogers and internet sleuths hunting to find him. Interest quickly grew in his case, leading many internet personalities, social media influencers to weigh in on what they think happened to the missing teenager. Their fascination with his mysterious disappearance quickly caught the attention of Sebastian's mother, stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, and his biological father, Seth Rogers, leading them to sue 3 YouTubers who shared theories about their son's case. BS. First, it covers Betty. Hold on, my phone is going off. Anyway, you go down further. They took WKRN's footage. They got Betty here, and then they quote me down here. But I don't like that they're reporting this wrong. Meanwhile, in October, Sebastian's father, Seth, Dog the Bounty Hunter, and 7 others sued 2 others, Stephanie and Jessica, in Pennsylvania. They also filed injunctions against 50 unnamed people for harassment, endangering their safety. That's not what they filed on. And I don't like that they're misreporting. I don't like that they're saying that. That's not what they filed on. It was 42 causes. Oh, whatever. A judge later dismissed the case against them, stating that there's a higher bar for them to reach in defamation cases as public figures. That's also not true either. She dismissed it because they didn't have any evidence, not because they have a higher bar. Whatever. Now, she asked me why I think people were interested in Sebastian's case, and I said the mysteriousness of it. And then they have me quoting, there's so many avenues, blah, blah, blah. Bullhorn Betty examines missing Sebastian Rogers' case. It was a nice photo, at least. They got Fisher in here. I'm just curious what video this is. They don't link it or anything. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much what they put and did. They just copy and pasted WKRN. Very interesting. Can't air on a public story, especially over theories. I never talked to these people. I never tried to interview them. So I just made stuff up about them with no idea of the facts. It's not my fault that the other people thought it was true and started harassing them. Very interesting. Well, that's it. Why was she saying, we? I couldn't give up hope. Me either. Looking at the condition of the house, I bet that slider was difficult to open for an adult, let alone a kid. That's how I felt. Oh, Texas Tornado says if you use a bar of soap on the tracks of a sliding door, they are quiet. Oh my gosh, Sammy, I would never. I should have said, don't close your eyes if you're driving. I like that everybody dropped ones. I can't listen to any of these people. First off, it seems like nobody was really covering it, and then everybody was covering it, right? That's just how it seemed to me. My sliding door does not match noise. It's brand new, but my old one did. Not loud, but in an irritating way. Smash stories a few times over the span of his disappearance. When nightly night media talk about going global, the world already knows. Yeah, they actually reached out to me for my footage on this case. So I can only hope that they're going to put it in a good light if I responded in time. I may have missed it. I don't know. But I'm interested to see. This is interesting. Where Tells told CBS News on Sunday he was frightened the children were taken by a stranger. I don't know about that one. I guess I'll keep my eyes open to see what they end up posting. I'm wondering if as soon as they had that baby, the stepdaddy start mistreating the two kids. No, see, I don't go that way, but I will say this. This is the way I think about it. Hearing them saying, this is just my opinion on it, right? I'm not a professional. I'm just your average person with a microphone that likes to talk. And my opinion on it is, when I hear them say they had the 18-month-old baby, and they're usually telling Lilly and Jack to be quiet, I personally feel like these two had this baby together. And have any of you, parents who've had multiple kids, when you have a baby, your other child suddenly seems older, right? And I wonder if they kind of depended on Lilly to take care of Jack a little bit more while they tended to the baby. Did they just kind of, push them aside again? You have Daniel saying he could hear Jack playing in the kitchen. How many of you would allow your 4-year-old to play in a kitchen? Seriously, I wouldn't. Play in a kitchen? It doesn't, no. Right, Christy. The mom said last night was one of the worst nights. It's rubbed me the wrong way. Why was it only one of the worst nights and not the worst night? Yeah, it could be the way she speaks, but still, I'm with you, right? Like, last night was one of the worst nights. Last night was horrible. I couldn't even sleep. My kids weren't home. I'm worried about them. It's raining. It's cold. Where are they? That's what I'm saying, Slim. It happens more than you think. Little Cole saying no. Preppy, Jason, Jackie, we're not letting our 4-year-olds play in a kitchen. And then we have the bus driver saying when Jack didn't get attention, he would fling shit at you. It seems like it was dangerous to have Jack in the kitchen. You don't have a 4-year-old in the kitchen. Yeah, I think once they're like 18 months, people just start saying 2. There's 2 of them, though. They could divide and conquer, right? But they were lazy at best, right? We says, my other thought is that mom and stepdad assumed that step granny or step uncle would supervise the kids. Was that a common occurrence? Now, listen, I'm not going to judge on the fact that I do believe that these kids played outside alone. Because they're 4 and 6 years old. They live, on a secluded land. There's no neighbors nearby. They have a fence. They have a swing set. They have the back door, they have the front door, whatever. I don't think it's that bad that these kids would play outside alone. Maybe the mom, made sure to say she would never allow that out of guilt that she has. But I don't judge off of that. Matter of fact, I think it's fantastic that these kids had the woods to play in. I grew up playing in the woods myself. It's an experience you can't make up. I wish every kid had the chance to explore the woods. It's just there's something about it. But there's a reason she emphasized and contradicted herself while doing so about them playing outside alone. There's a good chance she is Jeep and Nana. Would that explain her dialect? Sure. Or her tone? Yeah. And I like the fact that they didn't have internet, Jason. I like that. These weren't kids that were thrown on tablets. I know. Woods are amazing. Honestly. It's a must-see for sure. Yeah. I'm with you, Psyops. I always said if something happened to one of mine, I need to be institutionalized. Then the worst did happen. I was stronger than I ever thought possible. I'm sorry you experienced that. That's why I don't like saying girl next door, like, oh, I'd be like this or I'd be like that. Because truth be told, we don't know how we would be. And are we oftentimes very judgmental on the idea of how we would do things as opposed to how others do things? Yeah. And that's why I'm saying it's not for me just the way the mother speaks. It's all the other inconsistencies as well. It's the stark differences between Daniel's story and the mom's story. It's the fact that it's 9:45 a.m. on a Friday. Supposedly your daughter's sick, but you didn't see her all morning. It's the fact that neither adult laid eyes on Jack that morning. It makes me think that they didn't lay eyes on them because they simply weren't there. Report them, McRappin. Flag their stuff for misinformation. Flag it for what it is. No, and I respect your point because I get it. And thank you for sharing that. Yeah. I mean, listen. My kids always played outside in the driveway. They played in a trampoline. Their friends were over. They ran up and down the street together. All the kids rode bikes. I think because of social media and everything, we make it to where, we're so paranoid because of the genre that we're in that we automatically project that onto the safety of our kids. As I keep asking, what sizes are the rooms on the property? We played in the kitchen because the table and chairs were away from the cooking area, but we didn't throw shoes or scream. Fair point. That's a fair point. Okay, I see what you're saying. When he says playing in the kitchen, did he mean like at a kitchen table? But it's damn near 10 a.m. and they didn't get out of bed yet to feed these kids. I don't know. I just found it interesting that RCMP said they are speaking to 35 people. Basically, they're interrogating 35 people. That's true, Casual Art. Very true. The trailer's 500 square feet. Wouldn't you come up with a better lie than I was lying in bed all day? No, because, you know, no, because I don't think they would. I don't think they would. To them, they probably didn't realize how it sounds to most people. Like, oh yeah, we were still in bed with the 18-month-old. No, I don't know. I agree, Sammy. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? Actually, I'll tell you, my kids are 6 years apart. There was a big difference between my daughter and my son. And it kills me that I don't feel my son gets that experience that I had as a kid, that she had as a kid. I mean, my daughter is 6 and will get up at 8 a.m. on a weekend, get herself some cereal, sit on the couch until me or her dad gets up. Right. No, I get that. You kind of sit them in front of the TV with the cartoon, give them a coloring book. You lay back down on the couch type of thing. I get it. But to have never seen them that entire morning, that I will not get. I actually think it's a lie. It's a good lie. We were asleep. It's hard to fuck that story up. But they fucked it up. They did fuck it up. Because she couldn't even match her story to him, or he couldn't match her story to her. Here's a question for you all. 1, did you hit the thumbs up? But 2, here's a serious question. Maybe I'll do a... Do you think, who do you find to be more suspicious? Do you find Daniel to be suspicious? Or do you find Malaya, the mother? Playing in my own ear. Who do you find? Oh, it's plausible. I don't find it not plausible. What I don't find plausible is that you're sleeping until 10 a.m. with 3 kids, one who's sick, and you never laid eyes on either. That's what I don't like. All right, here, let me do this. Let's start a poll. Who, if either, because you could have none. Again, I find it crazy that CPS doesn't want him involved. We are 3 away from 1K. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Why didn't the mom take her kids to get tested for autism? Well, Chrissy, that's a good question, but we spoke with locals, and we were told by the locals that the Canadian healthcare, especially when it comes to diagnosis such as autism, is extremely backed up. So I can see, you know, I didn't like that she said we suspect they're autistic, but they're not high autism. Well, 4 and 6 isn't too young to be diagnosed with autism. A lot of times you get a diagnosis when they're toddlers. But again, Canada's backed up, right? Socialized medicine is very different. It takes a long time. If I wasn't up with mine, they were in the bed with me. Yeah, I same. Vote on the poll. Let's see what the answers are. Oh, I should have put both as well. I'm sorry, Jeremy. That's a good idea. Should I end this one and add both? Yeah, let me end that. All right. All right, let's do it. We got that 1K. Thank you. I'll never forget the first time we hit 1K thumbs up. And then we hit 2K thumbs up. And it was so humbling. It was amazing. It wasn't humbling, actually. I was out here gloating about. I was like, oh my God, we got 1K thumbs up. I'm like screaming at my mods, look. We got 1K thumbs up. I see both of them suspicious as hell. I just started a new poll. Tell me what you all think. Wow, so far we're pretty high up there on both. Keep going. Let's see. We got almost 1,200 viewers right now. All right, lay on the couch, right? And I'm not judging the fact that parents fall asleep, because they do. Sophia with the gifted. Thank you so much. Thank you. I lived in Canada. The healthcare is garbage, yes, but without a diagnosis, you shouldn't tell the world they are. My daughter was set for testing and a diagnosis within 4 months. You know what I don't like, Christy? Thank you for sharing that. It took 3 years ago to many doctors to get my son officially diagnosed with Tourette's syndrome, immunization, among other things. And Canada, unfortunately, are not fast. What I didn't like when it came to Sebastian Rogers' case is that because the label of autism was placed on Sebastian, people automatically equated that to being incapable. And that drove me nuts. Because his own parents came out and said he was so high functioning. His teachers came out. So many came out and said, no. He's high functioning. Keep those votes coming. Majorities at both. We got both, then we got mom, then we got neither, then we got stepdad. We did it. Where I'm from in Canada, kids are diagnosed by 4. When I asked locals about child abduction, they said it is a high hub area, but not that particular part. Here's a local, thank you. The healthcare may be free, but it's severely broken. I can only fathom. Can you answer, Caper? Is child abduction high in the area? Child trafficking? I'm getting my granddaughter tested. Her appointment is a year out. Wow, Candace. I mean, I'll be honest. We pay for our healthcare, obviously, over here, but our appointments are still really far back out as well. Even like my grandmother, she had to see a specialist. When she called the specialist, they gave her a date for next year. My grandmother's like, I may not be alive next year. They described him emotionally as a child, but not mentally, Sparks. Tell him, Lucia, we can do it. It is extremely high. It is extremely high. As a local, any local in here, do you believe there's a chance that Lilly and Jack were abducted? I'm very curious. The nearest city, 20, 30 minutes away, only has under 10,000. There's no way child trafficking is heavy there. Maybe per capita, I guess. I don't know, PsyOps. Locals all say differently. What are the odds that 2 kids would be abducted at the same time? Oh, look at you, Clue. Aren't you lucky? In 2024, the RCMP reported 32,680 reports of missing children in Canada. Yikes. Well, I mean, that's a scary thought. I feel like they got hurt, need to be found. Yeah. If they had drug parties or alcohol parties or whatever, the people who came over to the parties could be suspect in kidnapping. That could add to the 35 people they're speaking with, right? I find it strange the K9 did list their scent at the end of the driveway, and only the end of the driveway, which reminds me so much of Summer Wells. So much of Summer Wells. So it does have a high rate of trafficking. Statistically, most kidnappings are family members. If it's an abduction, I suspect the bio dad's family. Really? Well, hell, send it to me too, Alabama. Wouldn't the scent be at the end of the driveway unless they walked out the driveway? Was it only at the end of the driveway, or was it like, did it stop at the end of the driveway or only at the end of the driveway? Yeah, they don't. They said they don't see any signs of an abduction. You're right. Everywhere it does. And it's a real problem. It's a scary problem. The Jersey lady one, either they were saying a really true description or they were pushing a narrative. How will we know? Yeah, you're right. I saw that, Nova, that they said the cadaver dogs are being brought in. Canadian Press yesterday. Daniel gives an interview. Let's see. You're saying Daniel gave an interview yesterday? I haven't seen anything coming from Daniel in days. Did anybody see an interview from Daniel yesterday? No, what we were told is that he had no visitation at all with the kids. I suspect the parents had a party on Wednesday. The kids got into their drugs and OD. Parents found them Thursday morning. Oh, that's horrible. Other findings? No. Live 40 minutes away? No way. They were abducted. Majority of missed children in Canada are runaways or parental abductions. That has been silent for a while. That's what I thought. Like at least 4 days. Well, we don't know if they're on drugs. You would think the bus driver would know the kids enough to know of home problems. It's a rural area. How do you determine if it's home problems or not? I mean, you could say by what he said, he was describing home problems. Lilly was a screecher, and Daniel would throw, or I'm sorry, Jack would throw boots to get your attention. I would say that's a problem. Either have I, Jade. Thank you. Sorry, but he grew up on that lane. The chances of something being found in the type of territory when it's your stomping grounds, when you don't want it found, is highly unlikely. That's a sad truth that I thought of as well. Hey, Ellie. They both know exactly what happened, but Daniel knows where they are right now. Poor babies. What's our poll say? Our poll is 57% say both. It's still going up. Let's see. Keep voting. I'm curious everybody's thoughts. Everyone keeps saying a party on Wednesday, which was a Facebook rumor. But locals are confirming that they saw a lot of cars there Wednesday. Does that necessarily mean party? No, but I can't find an interview about the door. Nova. Am I missing it? Ad blockers again. Are you kidding me? Ah. Daniel looks really upset to me. I don't know. I know others feel differently. If the parents are involved when it's both, I don't see how one would know and not the other. Really? Explain, Body. What do you mean? You don't think there's a chance that one of them wouldn't tell the other? Hence why they fought and broke up? They're giving the same story. Their story's so different. It's not the same story. Stereophonics, good morning. It's a completely different story. Daniel's story is so different. So there's other doors. One looks like it's not accessible. It's likely attached to a bedroom. That's how those type of trailers I'm familiar with. One door is usually like the main bedroom door, and doesn't look like they use that, but they would have the sliding back door and then the front door. They can't give the same story unless they're both involved. They both heard them that morning. No. Well, yeah, the whole, do you hear them anymore? No. But even that's coming across differently. She's saying she looked at Daniel and said, do you hear them? And he said no. But that's not what he said. Relationship before the kids went missing, probably. If there were drugs of any kind other than marijuana, they would have been an arrest made, right? He said he went and searched. She said they called 911. Well, she said we went outside, screamed his name, their names. But they both heard them that morning. If they're lying, then they're both lying. Unless they're both in and out of sleep, they hear them, and then the one adult gets up and something happens, gosh forbid, right? They have 3 cars, 2 extra on Wednesday, perhaps a get-together, not a party. Did the brother have friends over? The brother has a record. I don't know if Daniel has one, but the brother does. Was he hanging around with not so good people? That's interesting, Gertie. But they would need to go hide. Oh, gosh. What if the other's sleeping? If the stepdad side of the family knows that the mom may be guilty, they wouldn't want her on the land, so they wouldn't get in trouble. Perhaps that was the fight. Did the mom and stepdad both say the door was silent? They both pretty much said, yeah, you can't hear the door when it opens. You're right. The one that lives on the land, I thought ostrich. One could hide them when the other went looking. Gosh, the idea is just so creepy. I agree, niece. And I think that's such a big deal to know, like a verified timeline. Were they missing at 8 a.m. and reported at 10? Or were they missing at 9:45 and reported by 10? Which one is it? The backpacking boost made me wonder if those children disappeared sometime after school on Tuesday. Oh. That's what I'm wondering, Catherine. Catherine said, why did Daniel go to CPS to see his daughter? And they refused. You're right, PsyOps. You're so right about that. You're fine, McRapid. All right, so if they're both telling the same general story, so if one of them did something, they both know. And I bet you if either knows, the RCMP is going to get them to talk. And I guess that's where that leaves us. They're going to be tight-lipped. Unfortunately, we likely won't know anything until arrest happens. I still want to know more from step granny and step uncle. Yeah, they're not really speaking. They're not speaking. Ellie also called off the search for Dylan on day 6. He was never found. The parents had believed that he was abducted. They said Ellie wouldn't look in that direction. Is 6 days the cutoff for a search? Exactly, original 62. I'm with you. Because, like I said, there is a lot of speculation. There's a lot of rumors that, the bloody underwear, socks, wrist ties, and all these other things. They are being interviewed. Everybody's being interviewed. 35 people are being interviewed. I've seen people assume someone else's story because they were doing something else they didn't want Ellie knowing about. Just a thought. Bernie's 30-foot square house. And a door cannot be opened or closed at night without her telling you. This makes me feel like I cannot get mad at her. Or body, if it was pouring rain, like it was, and the children crawled into a little ditch, like a little, natural coverage, and they just haven't been seen. No, so is opposite crime traveler, Daniel, as far as I know. I don't know. Malaya's not saying nothing, but as far as Daniel goes, he said he has been very open with police. He's been questioned many times. He's handed over every device, and he's willing to take a lie detector. I do too, Lean on Me, but unfortunately, they're so tight-mouthed over there. She's a clickbaiter, and her video made me sick. Saying about not listening to false narratives being pushed to social media. Yeah, I just read an article in the beginning, Hope for Snoopy, that wasn't RCMP, but it was very interesting. But that's what they're referring to, right? When the RCMP is saying things like don't listen to social media rumors and false narratives, they're referring to things like what McNappin just said here. You got this woman over here in America who finds a random quote-unquote tree house, starts zooming in and telling people to see what she wants you to see, which are disturbing things that would lead to a disturbing conclusion of what happened to these kids. It's no better than anybody. I mean, that's the type of stuff they're referring to. They're not referring to, little old us over here saying, well, this is a little weird and that's a little odd. We're not writing in stone that these parents unalive these kids by X, Y, and Z. These people like her are just making up absolute stories. I don't even like that I highlighted them. Yeah, well, no, I don't care. A lot of people use zip ties when building things together. Gosh, I use them all the time. Right. They also think that middle schoolers are equally responsible if they're groomed by adults. I agree. And you know what else is pretty weird? You didn't even cover this case until you saw others doing it. And then you come out with the clickbaity titles and the clickbaity images. I don't like it. I wonder if mom left because CPS took the youngest and she didn't want to be alone with stepdad and his family. No, so we were originally told that she left with the baby. Daniel goes to the CPS center and asks to see his daughter, and they deny him access to her, which makes me wonder, does CPS have custody of the baby right now? I use zip ties a lot too. Do you guys think that the mom has the baby or does CPS? You are such a bad influence. Clue. I made a simple map photo with the search radius highlighted around the dwelling. You think CPS has the baby? That would make sense, yeah. You think mom Newfie? It is a big question because why else would he go to the CPS center to see the baby? The mom, you have to go through CPS to schedule visits. Huh. Yay, Diamond. Dan Martel, May 13th, Yahoo. Is it this one? RCMP interviewing people closest to the two children missing from rural NS community. Right, of course, family members of two missing children are among those identified for formal interviews as police investigate the siblings' disappearance. 6-year-old Lilly and 4-year-old Jack were reported missing on May 2nd from their residence in Lansdowne Station, about 140 kilometers northeast of Halifax. Police scaled back a ground search last week, saying it was unlikely the children were still alive if they had wandered into the densely wooded area. On Tuesday, the sergeant said, "We're in the 11th day investigating the case and that officers were working day and night on this file. More than 180 tips had been received from the public and officers identified 35 people to formally interview. We're exploring all avenues in this missing persons investigation." So Daniel Robert Mertel, who has described himself as the missing children's stepfather, told the Canadian press that he voluntarily attended a 4-hour interview with major crime investigators the day prior and submitted his smartphone to police for examination. "I've been 100% cooperating. I gave my phone. I offered the drug test. I offered them lie detector tests. I offered them everything." In an earlier interview on May 5th, he said he and the children's mother, Malia, had been together for more than 2 years and moved into the trailer in the community about 2 years ago. He has said he and Brooks Murray had a 16-month-old infant. Mertel has said that he was in the bedroom with his partner and their baby when he last saw Lilly and Jack on the morning of May 2nd. He recalled that Lilly was wearing a pink top when she had poked her head in the door of their bedroom prior to departing. Minutes later, he heard the sliding door. What? You son of a liar. Oh, now he heard the door. Put a 1 in the chat if that's not what we were told to begin with. Oh, he heard the door? What's up, Starlight? Say what? I'm with you. Now he heard the door. They said the 35 people include family members. That's what he said. He said he hopped in the car and drove down all the wooded roads or whatever it's called. That's a huge difference. Of course they'd be able to tell if he's lying by now. The thing is, they're not going to tell us. Excuse me 1 minute. Sorry about that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Nova. That's a huge story change. I appreciate you alerting us to that. Thank you so much. Mertel is estimated within a few minutes he set out to find the children, driving his vehicle in the back roads and looking in culverts for them without success. So this is crazy. So he recalled Lilly popped her head in, and minutes later he heard the sliding door. The sliding door, they told us several times, cannot be heard. Oh, I'm not holding back judgment now. I'm coming back over here.
As we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them. And they happen to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens.
And we can't hear it when it opens. So either they heard the door open, they knew the kids were outside, but they didn't care because they weren't in the house bothering them. And then they no longer heard them or could see them. They looked around and then they reported them missing. That would make more sense. That theory I could go with. Going back over here, sorry. Brooks Murray left the home that day after the search began and in communication with Mertel and has been staying with her mother in Wentworth. RCMP have said that on May 2nd at approximately 10 a.m., they received a report that the children were missing and at the time said they believed the siblings had wandered away from their home on Garlock Road. The ground search involving 160 trained volunteers was scaled back May 7th. May 7th. So on May 5th, I think they began suspecting them. So they scaled back on May 7th, and on May 7th, they brought him in for a 4-hour voluntary interview. 4 hours. I'm with you, Janet. Somebody's lying. I think they rehearsed it, but not good enough because there was inconsistencies from the beginning. Uh-huh. May 7th, they scale back the search and they bring him in for a 4-hour interview. I do. Are we going to find out? No, this is not Yahoo. Or actually, it is. I apologize. Yeah, do we even trust Yahoo, though? It's the Canadian press. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. On May 6th, all right, we need a dang timeline. On May 6th, he goes in for a 4-hour interview on May 6th. On May 7th, they scale back the search. May 6th, he's interviewed. May 7th, they scale back. That's a big one for me. They have a play area in the woods. It's not far in the woods yet. I don't know what happened with these children. I agree, Meredith. Yeah, that's a big yikes. I do have a whiteboard, courtesy of PsyOps. They'll make me bust that bad boy out. So May 6th, they give 4-hour interview. May 7th, they scale back. I think they're suspicious of them. Yeah, but he was probably interviewed then because the search was ramping down. Maybe. You would think he would have been interviewed day 2, day 3, day 4. Where's our poll at? Hold on. Let's see. 56% believe the parents. Not many people voted. Both Daniel and his brother were debriefed the same day, as well as the mother was, DJ. And she left halfway through the debriefing. Halfway through. So I don't know. It was hands on deck for a small department. Well, they had it outside agencies in immediately, they said. Report on stepdad a lot. Mom seems to be out of the public eye. I have a feeling the police are more interested in mom, but putting her in a sense of security while they quietly investigate her. I'm kind of with you. I feel like I would too, but again, niece, I don't know what I would do. Well, he offered to take a Polly, but they have to fly somebody in. So that's going to take time, resources, all of that. What do you guys think? What are you thinking? Does this change what you thought? Do you think the article misquotes him? Or do you think he told an inconsistent? I mean, they put quote marks. I don't know. How reliable is the news source, though? This report by Canadian Press was first published May 13th, yesterday. I want to hear him say it. Yeah, let's get on that, body. You're the only one that's organized enough. Can you help us out? No, I didn't block you. You're fine, McRappin. Read the quote again. The quote says, Martel has said he was in the bedroom with his partner and their baby when he last saw Lily and Jack on the morning of May 2nd. Now remember, Jay, Mom didn't see either of them that morning. So she says. But he, Daniel, recalled that Lily was wearing a pink top when she had poked her head in the door of their bedroom prior to departing. So Lily pokes her head in. Hey, assholes, you going to wake up today? I don't know. Hi, I'm hungry. Can I have some cough medicine? I'm sick. I mean, poor little girl. Poor little girl. Minutes later, he heard the sliding door that leads into the backyard open and close. And if you recall, he's the one that said they never closed the door behind them. He's the one that said that. Now he's saying he heard it open and close. Martel has estimated within a few minutes he set out to find the children, driving his vehicle on the back roads and looking in culverts for them without success. Now, why? I thought he jumped on a four-wheeler. Maybe do they just call that a vehicle, though? I don't know. Right, DJ. Hey, we're going to school. Bye. It's all in the details and it's all in the dates. That's pretty much what they're saying. Yeah, she heard nothing. She heard nothing. Matter of fact, here we go again.
I want them home. Hold them. And I want them home. I'm just staying as hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home.
It's forced. I'm sorry. Get mad at me. I don't care. It's forced. I want to hold them. And I want them home.
What happened was we woke up. I heard them playing in the next room beside us.
Rehearsed.
And I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make
You're
sure
good,
that we're out
McRappin.
there with them, watching them.
They're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We're always out there with them. It was 10 a.m. You weren't even awake. Thank you. This is crazy. All right. This is crazy to me. And I know you don't like speculation either. And I get it, right? I definitely get it. I think this is the one we did read. But let's see. Yeah. Martel. This is the one we did read. Stop it with these ads. Oh, now you're not going to let me read the article? They're so annoying. So annoying. I already logged into your account. What are you doing to me? Yeah, that's the one we did read this morning. So I don't know why he's doing that again. Hey, Andrea. He's lying. Is he lying or is she lying? Crazy Redneck. We were wonderfully gifted. It was it would have been by Akira, Apple Bottoms, K&S, or Be Nice Try It. And Sophia generously gifted memberships today. So thank you for that. They are trolling me. But look, hold on. Don't leave just yet because this is also. All right, let's remember. So we just heard mother. We just heard, the mama bear. She's kind of like, I want to hold them. I want to keep hope. And then here's Daniel.
I'm out here still searching, still fighting to try to find them.
What did I do?
That's all I can do.
The message is still, if anyone knows anything.
If anybody knows anything, just come forward.
Oh, yeah, I clicked that one already.
2 little kids are still out there. I want to find them. That's really all I can do. Still searching every damn
Isn't that statement weird, too? 2 little kids are out there?
It's possible. 2 little kids are still out there.
2 little kids are still out there. Where are they at out there, Daniel? Where are they? He's fighting his Lavender, leave me alone. You stop that.
I'm out here still searching, still fighting to try to find them.
Fighting to try to find them.
That's all I can do.
The message is still, if anyone knows anything.
If anybody knows anything, just come forward.
Dang, they could have turned him away from the sun. Got the sun glaring in this man's face. We can't see if he's fake crying or not.
As soon as possible. 2 little kids are still out there.
He does look rough, though. His eyes look swollen. He looks like he hasn't slept. He does look rough.
I want to find them. That's really all I can do. Still searching every day. I'm waiting for information.
Is that putting a distance between him and the kids? 2 little kids are out there. 2 little kids are out there. I don't know. Not my 2 kids are out there. He says he's stepdad.
2 little kids are still out there. I want to find them. That's really all I can do. Still searching every
Nova
day. I'm
Scotia, I
waiting
can
for
say it.
information. I have to let them do a lot of their stuff with the aircrafts and everything else, and dogs and searchers. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be coordinated, and I can't just go running through the woods. I want to, but I just can't right now because the search is just so far out.
Wait, what?
I can't just go running through the woods. I want to, but I just can't right now because the search is just so far out.
I want to, but I can't right now. The searches are too far out. I can see them getting in a fight with each other. Absolutely. Right. He said as soon as the military guy gave him the word, he jumped over the fence and was back in the woods searching. He's saying they're way too far for him to run. Yeah, maybe. Then her, on the other hand.
And they happen to just get out that sliding door and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew, it was quiet. And we get up and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, my partner, Daniel. She's not even saying the children's names. I don't know, dude. I don't know. This is going to be a wild one. Get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call. They're both really go-lucky children. They're so sweet.
Yeah, this is sad. This is unfortunate. I don't know if either of them did something. I don't know if something happened days beforehand. I don't know if it was an abduction. I don't know if these kids are suspected to be out in the woods. What I do know is there's little major inconsistencies in their stories. And I think that the RCMP knows that. And they're on top of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we hear in a few days that there is an arrest made. I'm very confident in the RCMP and the way they get to the answers of things. We got to remember, offering a polygraph doesn't make somebody innocent. Offering a drug test doesn't make them not users. There's many things. I'm with you, Irish Eyes. It's not an idea I want to go down, but it feels that way. Andrea, it does feel that way, doesn't it? 2 little kids are still out there. I think he wants to emphasize that they are little kids and not older, which makes more folks more invested in continuous searching. Yeah. I can't tell if she talks like she has rehearsed it or maybe because she is Canadian, if words just come out different than how we would say them. Well, we've had Canadian guests up here, and they don't speak in this very monotone voice. They have urgency when they speak. Cobb, you don't think they're involved? I pray you're right. If they were in the woods and they called as quickly as they say, you would think they would have found them. Yeah, within 20 minutes. Now, I know they supposedly called. All right, so here's a question. They supposedly called them in as missing within 20 minutes, which is a reasonable time frame. But how long did it take for them to show up? How long until police actually began searching? Do we know that? Like if they called within 20 minutes, police didn't get there in 20 minutes, right? They're kind of further out. You know what I mean? So I'd like to know how long it took for the first officer to come on to get on the grounds. I agree, but professional searchers. And I got to knock at the door. It is time for me to wrap this up, my friends. Actually, give me a quick second to answer it. All right, my friends, I do have to wrap this up. I appreciate you all being with me this morning. If you haven't, please consider hitting the thumbs up, and I will see you all next time. Let's keep prayers out there for Lily and Jack, and hope that there are answers soon and that they are safe, happy, healthy, and can be reunited like the other little Lily we saw. There are happy endings, and we can keep faith that this will be one as well. I will see you all next time.